Hello, how are you guys doing today? I want to give you all a warm welcome to today's Kaplan MCAT practice test. We know why you're here, to get a taste of what the MCAT really is, and for some of you, to get an idea of how you guys would do on test day. We're going to get started in a few minutes, but first, I want to clarify some key differences between today's test and test day, and talk about the general outline for today. The test that you're about to take today is not a real, previously released MCAT. It's a test designed by us to give you an idea of what the MCAT is really like. Taking the real MCAT today would take about 5 hours, and we know that you don't want to be here that long. So we've shortened it slightly to give you a realistic idea of how you do. But don't worry, when it comes to start studying, you'll have access to all of the tests that we have, the AAMC tests, through Prepping with Kaplan. Just like test day, the exam today has 3 multiple choice sections: physical sciences, which includes the physics and general chemistry, verbal reasoning, and biological sciences, which includes the biology and organic chemistry. On test day, you'll be taking the entire MCAT on computer, and you won't be allowed to bring anything into the room except your ID. Everything you have in your pockets will need to be stored in a locker that you can access on your breaks. But for today, it's okay to keep these things with you. All phones should be on silent, though. You'll be provided with scratch paper at the testing site. Any questions? Comments? Concerns? Alright, so, in accordance with the rules set by the AAMC, we're going to give you the 3 sections of the test in accordance with test day regulations. You will complete the first 2 events, the first 2 sections of the test in succession, be given a 10-minute break, and then complete the final section. Questions? By the way, I'm Tariq Rashid. I'm a Kaplan teacher for the MCAT. I've taught in the Greenville, Clemson, Wofford, and USC markets. Here's my email. Write it down. You'll have questions, and I'll have answers, hopefully. And of course, I'm here to help you answer any questions you'll have along the way today. Alright, so here's a general outline of what we're going to do. So, after the test, we're going to give you a link to score your test, and you can access this on your smartphone or your iPhone, and you'll be able to receive a small little feedback that includes your score. Then, after that, there's going to be a lot of questions about what your score means and how the test is scored. We'll spend a few minutes talking about that, the scores you'll receive on test day, and what all of it means to you. After we discuss this, we'll give you the option to stick around for a short strategy session, where we're going to answer a few key questions that will likely be on your mind about the MCAT. And don't worry if you're not able to stay for the rep session today. We have Kaplan reps available to help you answer your questions as you leave today. But for those of you who want to stay, we're going to tackle a few questions, specifically the most difficult questions using the Kaplan methods to master the exam. And we're going to show you some of the strategies we teach in our Kaplan classes to help you deconstruct and master the MCAT. And lastly, some of you are more than likely interested in taking a Kaplan prep class. We'll talk about what it's like being a Kaplan student, the options you have, and all the resources that you're going to have at your disposal when you take the course with us. Of course, your full score report, answers, and explanations will be available to you on your student home page following today's event, using the scoring abilities that you're going to have with your phone or internet. Just remember that your practice test experience doesn't end here after today's event. Any questions? Alright then, you're here to take a test, so let's get started. Before we get started on the first section, let me share one tip. The MCAT unlike the SAT, is scored solely as a product of the number of correct answers you give. No penalty on guessing. You never, ever, ever want to leave a question blank. When we begin Section 1, the Physical Sciences section, you may work on that section only, even if you finish the test early. You may not read, work on, or turn the page back to any other section. On test day, when you finish a section of the test and move on to the next one, you cannot return to a previous section. So we're going to follow those same guidelines today. Any questions? Good. Let's get started.